Hi, I'm Dr. Clare Steffen. I'm a psychologist and I'm also a naturopath. I'm certified as a natural health professional and master herbalist. I'm also a nationally board certified counselor, and I am a life coach, wellness coach, and business coach. I want to introduce you to this new podcast called Heal Your Brain Toolbox. I call it a toolbox because I'm going to share with you a lot of different techniques and approaches to healing your brain. In the first segment, we'll be talking about brain-based being, and I refer to it as being because we're going to look at kind of balancing out your brain so you can be your more authentic self and be more comfortable with just being rather than doing. Also, we'll be talking in another segment about social and emotional intelligence and how you can use that to improve your relationship to yourself and to others. You can use it in your work environment as well. I'll share with you a method called Cognitions of Choice, which is a philosophy for living that I designed. It's there to help you be able to be more confident in your decision making, whether they're simple choices that you need to make or more complex life choices. We'll be talking about trauma, grief, and loss in a segment, and I'll share with you the 12 steps for trauma recovery that I designed. And in another segment, I'll share with you the content of a book I wrote called Dancing Through the Darkness, The Cognitive Treatment of Shame. And in this episode, we'll talk about all the interviews. I talked to many different people about how they experience shame, and sometimes we experience it as a feeling, but at times, unfortunately, it can become part of an identity. And at times people too can confuse shame with guilt, and so we'll differentiate that and talk about the importance of that as well. Another book I wrote was called ADHD, A Guide to Natural Healing. I think we've really created a myth around ADHD, and too often we medicate for it, or we're looking for simple solutions just to label it as ADD or ADHD when maybe it's something else that's going on, and so we can explore that and see if there aren't some other better explanations or more effective ways to treat it. I think we have a culture that people oftentimes are seeking medications or they're self-medicating through substances. So we'll be talking about that as well and how to heal from that. I like to talk about different philosophies and an East meets West approach. And we can always look at the benefits and the wisdom of the Indian culture and the four-directional healing through the medicine wheel that they offer and provide to us. The other thing I'm very fond of talking about is how we can tap into our creative brain and not just always be so focused on critical thinking. We have a very logic-driven culture, but there's so many benefits from looking at things from a more creative way, and that's where healing and relaxation can occur. We can look at talking about spirituality and religion, and for some people the comfort comes from organized religions. For others it's more spiritually based, and we can talk about how that can benefit your brain and be very soothing and healing. Also want to introduce you to a movement that I'm involved with called message music, and our intent is to create a separate and universal genre. That message music is very eclectic. We can find the messages in music that promote healing and empowerment and bring us together in a universal and united way. And so I'll share that with you. And part of this is also promoting what I call Family of Choice, which is an organization I developed to help people that perhaps are disenfranchised or maybe are disconnected from their family of origin, and so they don't have a lot of support in that way. And there's many examples of this in our culture. Sometimes it's veterans who are involved in reentry. Sometimes it's people who are experiencing homelessness. Sometimes it's college students. Sometimes it's the aftermath of being involved in social media and feeling inadequacies in one way or another. And so we really have a need to have the cultural experience of family in a healthy way. And so we want to promote that as well. I think all of the work I do is steeped in the concept of integrative sustainability. We don't want to just be resilient. We want to be able to reach beyond and create lives that are sustainable on an emotional level and a physical level as well. Everything is focused through the lens of diversity, equality, inclusion. want to promote that for all individuals, no matter what the socioeconomic background is, no matter what the cultural background is, to understand that we are more alike than we are different. So I will be teaching you about how to heal relationships. I'll share with you something that I created that are the 5 traits for healthy relationships, and how to assess your relationship to yourself and to others, and how to apply that in a way where you can evaluate just about any relationship. So the intent of this Heal Your Brain Toolbox will be to do just that, to heal your own brain, but we'll also be putting out the intentionality of global healing and the connection of universality that's there for each of us to enjoy. I thank you for listening. I look forward to talking with you again, and I hope you will follow Heal Your Brain Toolbox. Thank you so much. Bye-bye now.